Currently, I'm in the middle of a week-long road trip across New York State. I thought I'd show you my camping setup. I've been out here driving across the state, hitting a few different parks, taking a bunch of cool pictures, doing some camping before the real camping season kicks off and it's ruined by all the families. I currently drive a 2019 third generation Toyota Tacoma. As far as building an overlanding rig, I haven't. The only thing I've done is change the street tires to all terrains. I've also taken off the front air dam and the mud flaps just to give myself a little more clearance. Other than that, completely stock. Stock wheels, stock tire size, stock suspension. I got a reasonably priced rooftop tent mounted over the bed and a bike rack and a set of roof rails. I chose the bed rack that I did for two specific reasons. Number one is I wanted the tent, when folded up, to be lower or at the same height as the roof of the vehicle, so I could mount a kayak to the roof and it overhang the tent. I also wanted to be able to use my tonneau cover so that I could keep my gear tucked away in there, relatively dry and away from prying eyes. Pros and cons. Pro. I mounted the tent behind the rear window so that I could mount a kayak on the roof. Con. I mounted the tent behind the rear window, so now I can't see out the rear window. That's all right, but it's a bit to get used to. Another pro, when I don't have the kayak on the roof, the tent, because it's behind the rear window, doesn't degrade my fuel economy. When I have the bike rack on the back, it makes getting in and out of the bed a little more difficult. Normally I have a pole with a hook to get at the 4 or 5 totes that I have back there. A little bit of a pain in the ass. But when I have the bike on there, it's even more of a pain because now I have to work around the bike and from the side, or just take the bike off and whatever, which I choose not to do. The bike rack does tilt down so that I can open the tailgate, and it barely clears. The reason I chose the tent that I did is because it folds in half and it fits nicely over a 5-foot bed. If I wanted one of the wedge-shaped tents, I would have had to lift it up higher and mount it partially over the roof of the vehicle. Then I can't mount a kayak on top. Generally, I love this setup. It works great for me. It does not change the overall dimensions of the vehicle. I can get into the same places I could always get into before. It doesn't change the height or the length. I'm not towing anything. I won't call it a budget overland rig because it's still not a budget. The truck still costs 50 grand, and the tent and the rack cost another several $1,000s, and then the bike and the bike rack on top of that cost another several $1,000s, and then I got a bunch of camera gear jammed in the inside of it, which costs God knows how many thousands of dollars. I get expensive hobbies, man.